Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways, and we're coming to you from something rather special today. The new Audi SQ7. It's my first Audi in a few years, and it's been worth the wait. 4-litre twin-turbo V8, ladies and gentlemen. Now that's quite a mouthful, but this thing really does have loads of guts. 375 kilowatts of power from a V8. Nice to see Audi still embracing the V8. And when you put the boot in, it is all there, ladies and gentlemen, in bucket loads. Interestingly enough, before this vehicle I drove the Moda hybrid with a similar power rating, and sure, it shows you how well their motor has come along, but some of the tech in this car felt a little bit dated compared to their motor, which is 1 million and this is 2.5 million. But in terms of driving experience with this V8 engine, this is unsurpassed motoring. Extremely smooth. You've got various drive modes. You've got efficient, comfort. The comfort is very smooth here on comfort mode. It just ambles along. I mean, the sort of people that buy this car, comfort mode is gonna be quite high on their list. Some other people might also want something a little bit more raunchy, so you've got dynamic mode. Let's see what she's like with the Mark 4.1 0 to 100. That is very, very fun indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very fun indeed. It really does hype. I've noticed other S-line Mercedes Audis have that very crackly engine note and whatnot, but this one they've kept the refinement. They haven't added extra bells and whistles, extra exhaust. It's got 2 exhausts. It doesn't have 4. It's a practical family sports racer. 250 kilometers an hour governed to. So if you're thinking of power, this thing has really got you covered. All ends up. Nice sunroof. Goes all very big spread on the sunroof. Large glass panel at the back, so plenty of light in this cabin, that is for sure. And then when you put the boot in, it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. That is serious power. Let's check the handling out into this corner. Oh, handles like a dreamboat. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Audi Q7, it has got performance on tap, that is for sure. And then when you're done rolling around, you put it into comfort mode, and then it just eases down into a sensible sedan. Well, it's not a sedan, it's an SUV, but I've noticed that the Q7s have got lower. They're actually becoming, the line of it's looking more like a Vant, the station wagon, the high-powered station wagon that comes out in a twin-turbo V6, similar power, similar performance to this. Fuel efficiency is not going to be great. It does about 14 liters per 100. If you're driving fast, it's going to be closer to 20. But sure, it's like anything. If you drive it efficiently, the numbers are going to improve. 2.5 million rand for one of these. It's by no means cheap, but there is a market for this. Wealthy people with families, more adventurous lifestyle. It does have an off-road mode. The automatic suspension does raise, but it's got 22-inch rims and low-profile tires. So realistically, if you're going to be using this for gravel roading, I would put an 18-inch rim on here and an all-terrain tire. Obviously, you can't be too aggressive, as in your speed ratings compromise. So if you're going to go all-terrain, yeah, it's going to have to be a less aggressive all-terrain, or you're just going to have to keep your speed down. But yeah, it's a joy to drive. Having driven the Chinese cars now for quite a while, the top-end luxury side of them, they're really catching up. But in terms of this just effortless suspension and cruising, they're not quite there yet. I noticed their motor was still a bit bouncy on the suspension. This thing is planted, and it's what you'd expect. Audi have been making these luxury cars for decades now, and they've got the formula down pat. So what's this up against? You've got your likes of your BMW X7, your big Mercs, all the German car companies, your Geländewagens and other Mercedes product. There's a lot out there from the German manufacturers. The Chinese don't quite have that much competition, well, that much in the 7-seater department at the moment. I find the Chinese cars more focused on 5-seaters with a lot of leg room. A lot of these luxury cars, I get the feeling are made with limousine action in mind. In terms of windscreen wipers, very good spread, almost class leading. I mean, look, you get a lot of coverage, indeed. Now let's look at the negatives of this car. There's not many to speak of. The main one you'd say is something in terms of reliability, and if you look at the JD Powers rating for reported faults from customers in the US over the last 3 years, Audi is not faring particularly well. One of the reasons is these high-end luxury cars have a lot more tech on there, so there's a lot more stuff to go wrong. So it's not always fair comparing a 2.5 million rand Audi with a baseline sort of Mahindra with very little tech in it. So you've got to apply some caution, but it's not Toyota level reliability. Let's put it that way. So if you're looking for that in a luxury car, the Lexus is really the low-hanging fruit. But there's wow factor of this car. It's got it going on. It turns heads. I've had a lot of people double taking seeing me drive this car and not really sure what to make of the whole situation, keeping people on their toes. But yeah, brakes are also phenomenal on this car. It's phenomenally fast, but you can also stop it very, very quickly. So it is a safe car. Euro NCAP, 5-star rating, as you'd expect. It really does tick a lot of boxes, the new Audi Q7 S-Line. It does have adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitor, which I find the blind spot monitor is the most useful piece of tech that's come out. It does have the lane assist, but you find yourself wrestling the wheel a bit at times when you're changing lanes. You can turn the lane assist off, but you've got to dig a bit in the settings. It's not that easy. You gotta go, yeah. Anyway, somewhere in there, it's a bit of a hunt, but you can turn it off. The memory on this is longer than most cars. It'll remember your settings for the day of driving, but the next day it won't remember where you're at. But yeah, for city driving it is perfect, and with the adaptive cruise control you really can just amble along, not a care in the world. In terms of the boot, all push button, not that much leg room for the rear passenger, but middle row gets a lot. We've got the Harley coming in here, ruining my scene. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this gives you an idea of the ride heights here. This is with the air suspension up, and then so you get quite a bit of extra clearance. Then you click this button here. Let's get it down to dynamic. Let's go dynamic. Let's see it coming down. Okay, see it's starting to come down now. Come on, baby. There it comes. Yes, that does bring it down quite a bit, that's for sure. Now let's put it back to off-road. Let's see it go up now. That's quite a nice lift. It looks like over 200 mils now. Also on the front, this is a very, very nice feature when you're in the bush. Interesting, they still got a cigarette lighter on here. They haven't forsaken the smokers. Nature Reserve, and the SQ7 is right at home on these roads. Air suspension is ultra soft. Got it in an efficient mode. It just ticks along here, just at over 1,000 revs. No dramas. Flower season in the Western Cape. So here we are on the gravel track. Got it in all road mode, so it raises the suspension, and even with these 22-inch rims on, it is sailing along rather nicely. I did notice earlier that the sunroof is a bit noisy when you're going over 60 k's an hour. But in terms of this beauty here, West Coast National Park. Very comfortable suspension. Car performance, 4.1 seconds, 0 to 100, 250 top speed. In summer you can take the kids to school in. Bang! Yeah, that is phenomenal. There is a lot to like on this truck. A lot to like. Whew, that is raunchy. So there we go. Come to the end of the week with the Audi SQ7. Phenomenal car. Well, probably the best 7-seater I've ever driven. Smooth as soap. Fast as fuck. Go get one. We'll catch you next time, Africa Sideways. You see, it really is all there, ladies and gentlemen. All there in bucket loads. Various modes. You've got sport, comfort, dynamic. Let's put dynamic on here. Just sails through the gears. Absolute pleasure to drive. The air suspension really comes in handy on bumpier roads. It's got an all-wheel drive, an all-road setting, which is pucker, and this great sunroof lets a lot of light in the cabin. So all in all, this truck ticks a lot of boxes and gets a solid 9 out of 10 on the Africa Sideways rating. Anybody looking for a luxury 7-seater with massive power, this is the car for you. We'll catch you next time on Africa Sideways. Peace.